Hey everyone, hope everyone is doing well in this workout. This is the first one that I had after my competition. It was actually the day after the powerlifting competition. I was just really excited to get back into the gym and really get going with different things. So really had just a couple main things. And that's kind of the nice thing with this program is that it gives you the couple main lifts, and then I add minimally, at least I'm trying to minimally add things that are going to be beneficial but aren't going to overdo the program. So the first day it was supposed to be back squats for 5x5 at 75%. I'm changing all the back squats to front squats so I can really work on my quads and really try to improve my front squat itself. And it's just something that I just want to focus on. So for me, 75% was here at 260, and I was able to do the 5x5. I actually live streamed it, so you may have seen some of it already. I was very happy that I was able to do all these reps. One of the things I'm going to get better at with these is staying more upright when I get more fatigued. I'm trying to over-exaggerate. You'll notice my head will kind of pitch down as I get more fatigued. I'm trying to over-exaggerate my head being up because I think it will kind of pull my torso up just slightly a bit more. It's not a huge deal if it doesn't, but it is what it is with that. And here, didn't my first one set didn't record on my camera, but it recorded on the live stream, so you see the live stream angle. And I notice it's not the most precise angle, but I actually bought a little tripod for my phone to sit up there, so I should be able to live stream every once in a while and hopefully get it to be at a better angle than this. But let me know what you think about live streams. It seemed to get some positive feedback with that, so it's something that's pretty easy to do. And at the gym, I have the ability to connect to Wi-Fi since my internet provider provides it there, so I have the ability to live stream pretty easily. But like I said, I did the 5x5 with these weights, and then I moved on after these to do some clean. They're supposed to be clean deadlifts for me. It's supposed to be 90% of my best clean for clean deadlifts. I just made them clean pulls, and I went over 100% since they're pretty easy for me, and I want to be more aggressive with the pulling motions if I'm able to. I ended up doing 310. My best clean is 300, so it's relatively close to that weight, and I believe it was for 5 sets of 3, and they all felt pretty good. I obviously would have liked them to be a little bit faster, but they are what they are. But I'm generally happy with how they felt, and I think as I continue to do more pulling stuff like that, that I'll continue to kind of push the weights with those, since links to strength of mine, and there's not really a reason to limit myself to 90% of my best clean because of my, I can deadlift quite a bit, so there's no reason to not go a bit heavier with those. It's not as if I'm going above my ability if I'm doing a 310-pound clean deadlift versus one that's like closer to 260 or 250 or whatever. So I'll continue to push those. Same with the snatch pulls as much as I can, because I want those to progress up, and I want the pulling motion of the lifts to feel really easy. But after I had the clean pulls, I then had some push presses, and it was a 5x5 at 70%. It ended up being 165. You see I did a little split jerk work with the warm-up weights. It was hard for me to tell which ones when I started doing the 165 for those, but when you put the 15 on, it's the same color as the 45. It's kind of hard to see. You can see on these front squats I have the 15 on the side, so it's kind of hard. It's the same color as the 45, so when I'm looking back, it was hard to tell which one was the warm-up set and which one was not, but I think I got them accurately. I didn't count, but I did a 5x5. You can rest assured that I did all those because I sure felt them the next day with those. But after the push presses, I then had jerk dip squats, which you'll see they kind of look like quarter squats, really bad squatting that is at the end. So the goal with those is to work on the jerk part, the squat of the jerk. So how you squat down before you do a jerk is to work on that portion of the movement. It allows you to overload it a bit and to work on the kind of the squat part of the jerk. And it's something that for me I have a tendency to drift forward on, and so it's actually very good for me to do that movement, and it allows you to kind of work on your torso strength and ab strength through doing those movements. Maintaining your torso, and obviously work on mechanical things. And I actually really like the movement. They're a lot harder than they look because you have to maintain that front rack position, and after doing all the front squats, they feel really heavy to do. But I was happy with how those went, and definitely look forward to doing those in the upcoming weeks. I then ended with two different things. They were additional. I don't know if the ab work was included in the program. I'm sure it would be fine to add that in as far as something that's not even considered to be extra, but I did a little bit of that at the very end. Before the very end, I did some, whatchamacallit, dips. Sorry about that. My phone just dinged. Words with friends, but anywho. I decided to do some dips. I only used 25 pounds. I just did a 3x5, and thankfully that's all I did because my whole body was really sore the next day, and I have a feeling that was probably a result of the meet competition, resulting in a lot more of that soreness than anything else. Obviously, I did a lot of, relatively difficult work to do anyway, but I'm surprised, particularly with like the dips. My triceps are really sore the next day, and almost like limiting me in the strength that I had, which is kind of odd, but definitely good. It means I got a lot of productive work in, and this will be kind of how the first day of the week looks for a little bit. As long as I can progress these numbers up a little bit. I still have to think about what numbers I want to try to push up and which ones I'm trying to maintain week to week, since I can't obviously linearly progress every single lift of every single day, because then you'll run out really quick. Thinking that I want to push things up, like on this main day, pretty much each lift on those, the front squatting, the push pressing, the pulls, and the stuff like that, but then really try to maintain later in the week if I'm doing like the second day of front squats, or the day with jerks, maybe being more conservative with those. But that's stuff I have to figure out and go by feel with different things like that, and see how each day goes. But really want to focus on pushing up the strength and less focused on hitting a new PR per se, because the ability for me to hit new maxes is really going to be dependent on my ability to build strength a lot more than my ability to improve form. My form can get a lot better, but even if my form improved tomorrow and I was able to get more weight on the bar, I wouldn't be able to do it from my strength wise. I'm getting to that point where my strength is limiting me more than technique, which is kind of cool, but I'm going to continue to work on the different things, because I definitely can improve in the technique, and work on things like the split jerk to see if that's something I can continually use a little bit. Feels good, and just want to see if it's going to make my knee achy and make that something that I don't want to do. We'll see about that. That position you see with the bent knee in the back is something that has been kind of achy with my knee in the past, so I don't know if that'll be something that will get better and go away, or if that's something that will end up pushing me back to doing power jerks, but we'll see about that. But that being said, I think that's about it that I wanted to talk about in this video, but got lots of these workouts coming up since I work out every day now pretty much, and love it. So I'll talk to you all in the next one, and hope you're all having a great one. Peace.